Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 12 Division 2. This is round 7, round 8 will be coming up shortly. Which is in Misano. The championship is very interesting between Freddy, No Star and Q Game, but those three are the favourites to become champion. At the end of the season, so I've just checked the championship standings. Freddy leads on 69 points. 6.5 points behind is No Star, and then 10.5 points behind is Q Gamer. So we wait to see. This last time there was a double round is when Freddy made up a lot of points, and with No Star and Q Gamer making lots of mistakes at Donington, Freddy is in a very good situation. Not been the fastest or the strongest, but he's just been very consistent. We see No Star will be the first person to start to should be the first person. We'll just go and on board with the opening lap of the session. A very strong opening lap there by No Star at 1:28.7, currently half a second ahead of Q Gamer and Freddy. So the Belgian boy is playing towards the championship. There are 4 races remaining, one of them being a sprint. So given it's a double header, it is a 10-minute qualifying, 35% race. Sky These did join, but unfortunately he disconnected just before the qualifying started. So this qualifying session will be ended. We'll have to we'll go back to the lobby, invite Hadif back, and also Ginge, who will be replacing Shredded Head. And then hopefully we can get going with 8 riders and any others that turn up along the way. Daredevil, who were, excuse me, had a very good season. A little bit of inconsistency, but more or less being back for podiums. Yet to take a maiden victory. Today could be the day if he plays his cards right. He'll just without the Carrow hairpin heading towards the penultimate corner. And Joe, who's been absent for the past couple of races, pops into second place. The Dale will cross the line and loses out in the final sector, so he remains in 5th place. So we're still Q Gamer. He's been probably the most inconsistent rider out of those in the top 3. He's scored 2 victories. However, when he's not been winning, he has been absolutely nowhere. So That's something he's definitely got to iron out in these last 4 races, plus the sprint as well, that will come next week. So big work for the Dutchman. He makes the one now down into Cavone, the fastest turn on the circuit. Means behind is getting progressively slower. The track was originally intended to go the other way, so that section used to go a lot faster, which was quite fun on the old SBK games. And then into the final corner. Q-Gamer, it's not likely he's going to improve, but let's see. He does not. Daredevil once again is on to improve. Can he do it? He does improve by over 4 tenths, but still puts him in 5th place. And now No Star is on an outlap. Can he move the goalpost further? I just want to see where Hardy unfortunately has missed quite a lot of races and is 36.5 points behind, so he is out. But Daredevil, he did miss the first race, but he is only 18 points behind, so you cannot count the Frenchman out. Ropey, I don't quite understand his situation, but he is also not too far away, so if he was racing today, he'd have a good chance at scoring in some points. So now rounds the final corner and starts his second to last lap. Big wheelie out of the last corner of the second. Through turn 1, not hitting the curb. Into turn 2, you can take such different varied lines and approaches through this first 3 opening corners. Now we're heading towards turn 4. Following the brake into the rear hairpin. We've just got to be patient through turn 5. And then gas out turn 6. Red sector 1 for No Star. Down the straight, hard on the brakes into turn 8. And then into turns 9. It's a big shake on the front end into the braking zone, but No Star making the apex perfectly there, firing it out down the straight, heading towards Cavone. Not running the curb, I don't know whether that's just the safety or that is his preferred line. As Freddie's finding time in the 3rd sector. Up to the line. And he's lost it in the 3rd sector. We go back to No Star. Holding the brakes into the last corner. Is this another improvement? It is by 4 tenths and moves the goalposts even further to 7 tenths over Joe, Q-Gamer and Freddie. That's quite a sizable advantage. So No Star's just going to make sure he doesn't waste that potential, because it's happened a lot between No Star and Q-Gamer. Freddie losing time in the 2nd sector. Suffering a lot with wheelies. It just seems like he can't. Yeah, he's invalidated as well. So I think that is what. This is going to be the grid order. Can't see anybody else improving. Lots of inside curve there for No Star as he invalidates. Q-Gamer is trying to improve. really aggressive into Cavone, really aggressive into that, and it's gone.
As the last riders return to
Those stories on pole: Joe second, Q Gamer third, Freddy fourth, Daredevil fifth, and Race Reese sixth. And I will now restart the session just so Hadif and Ginge can join.
We're ready for action here at the Misano circuit. Eyes on the lights now. The San Marino Grand Prix is about to start. While the riders enjoy a well-deserved lap of honour, let's take a look at the final results of this race.
So we are nearly ready. Just got to wait for all the riders to ready up. We will have 7. But we had his PS Plus has expired, so unless he can buy it before the next race, he will not be racing. Just waiting for change now. It's not a shock that he is the last to ready up because he's at least prepared. So I believe Q Game Boots expressing some form to rush. Right, just because we're a bit tight on time, you have to start the race. But I don't want to be waiting here for too long.
We're ready for action here at the Misano circuit.
We just hope that Ginger's ready.
On the lights now. The San Marino Grand Prix is about to start.
So the lights are on. Really long wait, and we're off, and everybody's underway. And it's a fantastic start by Q Gamer as we head in towards turn 1 for the first time. Oh, and so it's Q Gamer, then it's Freddy, then it is, whoa, that's Joe, and then No Star. So a good start for the championship hopeful, who is currently in 3rd place, running a new helmet. Oh, and it's a big moment on the front end, and he's down at turn 4. Big mistake by Q Gamer, way too aggressive on the brakes on the opening lap. And he's now down in 7th. But he mounted very quickly, and he is only 3 seconds or roundabout off the lead. But here comes No Star. He's looking up the inside of championship leader Freddy. The two make contact in the braking zone of LaQuercia. And that was very wide by James Daredevil and Race Reister to go down into the turn. Oh, Freddy's knocked him off. But he's so the 3 championship contenders are all down, and Freddy has penalised himself quite a lot. So I'll just give him a warning for reckless riding, but he has penalised himself, so it's fair enough. So it is Joe leading the way for the first time in this race, with Ginge, the replacement rider for the dreaded head, in 2nd, Daredevil in 3rd, Race Reese is 4th, No Star is 5th ahead of Q Gamer. No Star's lost the front at turn 15. Well, this championship keeps on winding. Q Gamer started this, he was leading the race, then his championship looked to be complete tatters with Freddy and No Star in 1st and 2nd, and now he's once again gaining points. So, and it's a shame that Joe hasn't done all the races, because he definitely could be a title contender, but someone who is a title contender, and I said earlier, if he can just pick up some good points, some consistent finishes, while the other three sort of make mistakes, he can pick up some points, and that man is Daredevil. He is in 3rd place right now, gaining a lot of points on No Star, Freddy and Q Gamer. So Daredevil, he is 18 points off the championship lead, and there's no reason why he can't be champion. He did miss the 1st round, but he's finished every race so far in the top 5. So very consistent, just missing that race victory, but I've no doubt that can happen if he just plays his cards right, because Freddy, he wasn't the fastest in Portimao, but he played the cards right. He just did a very nice, consistent job, made the advantage of everybody making mistakes around him, and eventually went on to take victory. So let's see what can happen from now. Q Gamer, where is he? He is 4th, 1.9 seconds behind Daredevil. No Star, who's behind Freddy, who took him out at turn 10 on the opening lap. So he'll be wanting his revenge on the championship leader. 6.5 points separate these two as they start lap number 3. Oh, and Ginger's now gone down at turn 1 as the bike taking a long time to stop and travel. I know he joined safely, but scaring Race Reese a little bit there, I think. Oh, and Freddy goes up the inside of Race Reese into turn 3 and now into turn 4. I think No Star might be next. Oh, he hits him, but it's all a bit scary there. But No Star, I think, has got through on the American. Yep. And now Freddy's trying to look to find a way past Ginge, but Ginge looks like he's got some decent pace actually, despite the fact he's not been able to practice. Unless he was just doing a quick practice session during the qualifying session. But I don't think that was the case. So, as he now into turn 10. And Freddy muscles his way past the Brit, and Ginge is forced to concede into 5th place. Oh, when he gets on the curb and has a big shake. Very easy to crash on these curbs, I should know, but I did it in the sport race. As we go into the Carrow hairpin, and No Star looking... No Star's clearly, in my mind, he's got the fastest pace, but unfortunately there was one mistake that was not caused at all by himself, but one that was definitely self-induced. I've compromised his chances of victory. But Q Gamer now is closed in on Daredevil by a second in this past lap, so Q Gamer could be set for a 2nd place finish and gaining quite a handful of points over No Star and Freddy. Those are just unable to pass Ginge yet. But Ginge takes not an optimum line through turn 3, and that could present No Star with a chance at passing, but Ginge taking a nice defensive line into turn 4, but he's ran really wide. The Belgian is gonna not pass him. He's not able to, but now here he goes, he's going to blast past the Ducati on the straight. It's not often you say that, but No Star getting a fantastic exit into turn 8. He's done it, but Ginger's going to turn it underneath as Hulikar, the Division 1 rider for Ducati, wants to watch a little bit of the race. As they go into the breakers in of turn 10. Now this corner at the end of the race is very poor. It's the right side of the tyre does wear out very easily and can cause problems at the end of the race. Through Cavone, lovely line there by No Star, just clipping the inside curb. And you can see Ginge just doesn't have the same front end that No Star does. But he is pushing, and he's holding on for dear life to try and stay with the 2 championship protagonists. And Q Gamer has lost a bit of ground to Daredevil actually on this lap, and Joe's just setting a nice consistent pace out front, 2.3, 2.2 sec, 2.1. Okay, I say that, he's just made a mistake probably. Unless that's the difference in lines for his first sector, but he's 2.2 seconds ahead. Ooh, there's No Star trying to find a way through on Freddy, and Ginger's looking at the inside, and No Star into the Rio hairpin. And No Star goes through. No Star moves into 4th. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. As I've used the wrong time to use the helicopter cam. And No Star is now into 4th place. Freddy's and Ginge side by side in the braking zone, and Ginge is braking very late for turn 8. And he's made it. He's got it stopped. Very well done there by Ginge. As we now go into turn 10. A little bit wide by No Star, but he's going to get a good exit because of it. As he now begins to try and close in on Q Gamer. As I think Daredevil's made some form of error, or yeah, I think he's made some form of error because he's lost a couple of attempts to Joe and a couple of attempts to Q Gamer. As Ginge hits the outside curb and goes down, and he's picked up a long lap penalty for his troubles as well. So when Joe crosses the line, we only have 4 laps remaining of this race. Q Game is closing in on Daredevil. But I don't know if it's at a fast enough rate. I think Daredevil might be struggling now with front tyre wear. And Ginger's left the session. So now down into the turn full braking area. This is where Q Gamer crashed out. Well, not crashed out, but crashed on the opening lap from the lead of the race. And just that very unique riding style on the gas, where it's just blipping on and off. It's not like a constant. It's like a proper, like he's pressing it on and off on a button. And Q Gamer nicely slips up the inside of Daredevil, but Daredevil retakes the place. A classic pass at cut back at turn 8. And I think Q is realising he needs to get past Daredevil, because No Star is approaching at a right rate of knots, 1 second behind. No Star's got such pace here, but and time he's still got 3 and a bit laps to catch them. So Q Gamer's going up the inside at the exit of turn 13. Lovely move there by Q Gamer, and he's into second place. Daredevil's going to try and cut back, but it's not possible, and he's had a massive amount of wheel spin. And now Daredevil has got to worry about No Star. So Q Gamer's now, he's got just over a second over No Star, and he's got to make sure he pulls that gap as much as possible until No Star is able to get through on Daredevil. So into the first sector they're going. You can just see the advantage that the KTM rider has, just so much more confidence and able to brake later, turn faster, accelerate faster. Just everything's done a lot more efficiently. And I can see No Star just drafting past the Gresini Ducati, although he's hit the inside curb, and he's got to be careful now with track limits. So No Star is 1 warning away from a long lap penalty. When that's Daredevil wide, and so is No Star. The pair of them going really, really wide at turn 8. But No Star has gone through. Possibly down to front tyre wear. So 2.5 laps to go. 0.9 seconds the gap between Q Gamer and No Star. These two have been back and forth constantly, and it's actually... And they all going to... Oh, that's just lag. I was going to say No Star had a very strange crash there, but it's just lag. So Joe, I think unless he has a crash, victory should be his. 3.5 seconds up the road. But it's definitely going to be between these two. This could be a very pivotal moment in the championship. If No Star can beat Q Gamer, or Q Gamer can beat No Star, they are set to gain around about 6 to 4 points over Freddie. And if No Star can gain those 6 points, that will bring you within half a point of the championship lead heading to Kota. And I know No Star was strong at Kota last season, so he's probably going to favourite to win that race. But as they're on to the penultimate lap now, and Freddie's picked up a long lap penalty actually. So big mistake there from Freddie, and that has basically meant he will finish in 5th place for this race as these guys exit out of turn 6 through turn 7 and heading towards turn 8 into the braking zone. And they're just starting to struggle to get the bike stopped now. Joe 4.5 seconds out in front, and here comes No Star up the inside. Q, no, he can't do it. Is he going to go round the outside and turn it underneath? No, he's not, but let's see if he's got the confidence to fire the KTM out the corner. He has, and he's got through on Q Game, and Q's just not got the drive at all. So No Star into 2nd place. Big moment. Potential for the championship, but No Star has got that 1 warning. So no track limits excursions can be allowed for the Belgian through turn 15, as Joe will now start the final lap of this race. Across the line, he's done nothing wrong. He has simply stayed on and been quite consistent, and he might have been the fastest guy, but he's been the smoothest, the cleanest, and victory shall be his in a few corners time. As Q Gamer, though, he may have dropped behind No Star, but he's not giving up. He's staying with the KTM rider. He's on the curve. He's looking up the inside into Rio. He's going to try and force it. He's forcing it at turn 5, and he's back through into 2nd place. Down the back straight, heading towards through turn 7 into turn 8. No Stars hit the outside he's at the green paint on the entry, but thankfully he's not been given a penalty. No Star retakes the place from Q Gamers and now going to turn 10. Hard braking. No Star's going to run it quite wide. He's going to try and cut it back though, which he has been able to. And Q Gamers just hit the curve there. Now might be it for the Dutchman's attack for second place into Cavone for the final time. And I just think that No Star might have enough here. Oh, and Q's really wide through turn 13 into turn 14. These two really pushing the limits of the bikes to try and hold on to that second place. Reese has gone down on the final lap, but heading through the final corner, it's been an unbelievable job and very well done to Joe, who wins in Misano. I do believe that's his first race victory of the season as well. No Star finishes second. Q Gamer's third. Daredevil is in fourth. Q Gamer is in the voice chat. I have no idea what he's saying. Freddie is in fifth. Reese will finish in sixth. So Joe takes his first victory and improves his championship position. No Star second, Q Gamer third, No Star Daredevil fourth, Freddie fifth, and Race 3 sixth. So that means it's half a point in Freddie's favour against No Star. And I just need to, as race has gone, maybe not realising that there's another race to go. Right, we'll get going. I don't know if Ginge will join us for the second one, given he left halfway through, but we can hope, as these guys now have to go to Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas. The hardest track on the calendar, there's no doubt about that. Up and down, bumpy, really long, tons of changes. It's one of the worst circuits riders have to go through. So challenging. Thankfully for these guys, it's been raining every day but today, so they don't have to face the tough task of riding in the rain. So here we are, Austin, Texas, and Freddie is the first rider out on track. Freddie leads the championship by half a point. Head of No Star, Q Gamer closing in. to, I believe it's 6.5 points. So Freddie has to beat both No Star and Q Gamers to maintain. Well, he has to beat No Star at all costs to maintain his championship lead. In terms of Q Gamer, he can afford to finish behind him, but only by 2 places. So 3 races remain. 3 long races remain. 4 if you count a sprint. So it's definitely going to be an interesting event, to say the least. I think Q Gamer and No Star Daredevil taking the time to set the bikes up correctly, because the circuit is it's so difficult to get the bike set up right. It's just there's just so many elements to the circuit. It just creates quite a headache trying to get everything right. And I don't think there's such thing as a perfect setup or a perfect lap around here, just given how long and all the technical stuff you have to go through. But it's definitely, because of all these elements, it definitely gives you the chance to have one of the most satisfying laps and races you can have. Just crossing the line and winning, or getting pole position at such a circuit like this is a great emotion. But Freddie, I mean, a thing to note is this is nearly a 2-minute lap, so your best bet for qualifying really is to just probably stay out for as long as possible and just hope that the tyres last, because you can't just do one lap box, because that's 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes per run. So effectively, you'd only just about have 2 laps. So if you just did lap after lap after lap, higher chance of success. As Freddie loses the front into turn 1. Big mistake there. As Q Game is still not out the pits yet, so I don't know if he's gone to the toilet or something, but he is yet to exit the pits. As Joe successfully makes it through turn 1. Now let's go on board into this opening sector. So you go left, and then right, and then left, and then another right. You have a little bit of a breather, but the bike doesn't want to fully lean over, and then you hit the gas, and then you change direction once again into the second sector now, as you start to rise up the hill, into the next right, lots of bumps, and now into this next left. You can run the inside curb here, and then now you finally start to drop down. There's a massive bump through turn 10 here, and then you make your way down to turn 11, hard braking. Nice early apex, hard on the gas out the corner. Lots of dips as the track now starts to go back up, and you go over all the little bumps. The tyres just wanting to spin the whole way down this straight. As Freddie's gone down again into the hard braking zone of turn 12. Lots of races won or lost here. And now into it's first gear, but you don't really use first gear in this game, so it's the second gear section where it's just extremely slow. It's really tight corners, and then you're back on the gas into the final sector through the Istanbul section, the 3 triple rights. Long hanging corners, all bumps while you have a massive drop here. And then you change direction once more, the final time to start the final 2 corners through the left-hander. And then into the last corner. Freddie, I think, is boxing, so probably fresh tyres, new fuel. And then up to the line, here we go for Joe. And he sets the benchmark lap time of a 2-minute flat .4. Freddie goes second. No Star is on a lap currently set for pole position for the first sector. As Daredevil now hits the brakes for turn 12 over the dips. Doesn't run as wide as Joe did. And No Star, not to my surprise, is on course for a pole position here. I did mention earlier that he was very strong in his debut season here last time. 4th place on the Yamaha. He seems to have gained a bit of strength with the KTM. He still struggles with inconsistency, but obviously he's improved that quite a bit. And Daredevil hitting the inside curb there for turn 16, not what you want to do. And then you can flick it right for turn 19. And then into the final corner. For Daredevil's opening lap. He's 10 seconds off, so he must have crashed at some point. But here comes No Star for one, but it's going to be the first sub 2 minute lap. What is it going to be? It's a 1:59.3, 1 second faster than the previous race winner of Joe. So that's a good bank lap, and that is probably enough to take victory. Where's Q Gamer? Q Gamer now is just about to start his first of only 2 laps in this session. He's left it late. I think this race is going to be quite simple. Stay on, you win. Just with the amount of elements that are onto this place, it's so easy to. I mean, if it was raining, I dread to think how they get on. But I think with the better conditions, it should be a fun race. Hopefully, up towards turn 1, the front goes really light. The rear just wants to step. Oh, and the Q Game has invalidated his first lap. He's only going to get one more go. But the first turn, the front end just wants to, or the rear, the right just wants to endo really. And then as you get to the top, though, then all the weight just vanishes from the front tyre. So then the front just naturally wants to wash out. But thankfully, it didn't for Q Game, but he did run wide, hit the green, and therefore his lap has been invalidated as No Star is improving his following lap. A bit wide there through the exit of turn 12. But it's all looking pretty tidy so far. From the small amount of footage we've seen. As we get to the first sector point and he has lost time. No Star, don't think is going to get the chance to box and go back out. So he's going to get one more go at it. Oh, big shake through the penultimate corner. But he is staying on into the final corner. Oh, and he's really hot through that corner there. Turn 20 up to the line. And he does not find any lap time. And Freddie, I think, has managed to survive the opening corner this time. With his purple boots on. Down the back straight. Improving because as long as he stays on, he will improve. And here we go. And he will now grab the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Spike sliding. Rear sliding a lot as the forks have decompressed, and he runs really wide through turn 12, but thankfully as the game has decided to not invalidate him. As Daredevil's improving, Race Reese is improving, and Q Gamer I might have crashed actually. And he crashed the last corner potential, run really wide to get the best run possible heading towards turn 1. But we'll stay on board with Freddie for now. Through the penultimate corner. This should take him to the front row because there isn't really that many representable lap times. And with only 6 runners, it's quite difficult. There's the highest chance again on the front row. And there he goes into 3rd place. Not the greatest of laps though. So I think No Star is going to be safe for pole position. But it's all about who's going to be on the front row. Freddie, I'm not sure if that lap might be enough because Q Gamer, if he can, well, Race Reese isn't going to set lap time. Q Gamer. Oh, Daredevil's invalidated. So it's all down to Q Gamer now. What can he do on his one and only lap? Big wheelie out of turn 11, sorry. Down the straight. Not beating No Star's time. He needs to be on the front row. Oh, he's had a big moment as well. Bit of an endo, bit of a slide, bit of a shake. All sorts of pitching movements you don't want. Oh, and he's gone down at turn 13. So Q Gamer will be starting the USGP from 5th place. You cannot afford to do that in the race. There's Joe, where he has got 2nd place secured. He's improving. Oh, and he's had a big moment into turn 12 over the bumps. But he's made the corner. Oh, Daredevil's disconnected, so we'll have to restart the lobby. Around the penultimate corner into the final corner for Joe. It looks like it's going to be a good improvement for him. He crossed the line and he's within 2/10 of no star. So no stars on pole. Joe second, Freddie third, Q Gamer fourth, and Race Reset fifth.
As we look at the final results, it's just left for me to say goodbye for now. The race officials give the okay. Riders have their eyes fixed firmly on the light. Just a few more seconds and the Grand Prix of the Americas is go. As the riders do their cool-down laps, let's take a look at the final classification of the race we've just seen.
So just waiting on No Star, Daredevil and Q Gamer, and we can get going. Just waiting on Daredevil. Let's get going.
The race officials give the okay. Riders have their eyes fixed firmly on the light. Just a few more seconds and the Grand Prix of the Americas is go.
So here we go, No Star on pole, Q Gamer, Joe second, Freddie third. After a long wait, we're off. And Q Gamer once again having a fantastic start. And he's going to be second in towards turn one. Maybe even lead. He's going to go up the inside and take the lead from No Star. But I think he's going to run quite wide. Oh, when he was at that, Joe's gone down and Devil's gone with him. And it's a free... Oh, and No Star hits the inside curve at turn 2. So, as they go into turn 3 for the first time, it is No Star who leads ahead of Q Gamer in second and Freddie in third. The three championship protagonists are 1, 2 and 3 as Race Reese forces his way through on Freddie and moves to third place, but Freddie's able to retake the place. As Q Gamer's all over the back of the Red Bull KTM rider. Oh, and Race Reese has gone down. Oh, and No Star hits the inside curb. And Q Gamer goes round the outside and takes the lead of the race once again. But these two go side by side through turn 10. And Q Gamer leads the way down into the braking zone of turn 11. So the Dutchman leads. He's 6.5 points behind the championship leader of Freddie. And if it stays like this, he'll go to 1.5 points to Freddie. But to No Star... with No Star, he is 6 points behind, and it'll go to 3 behind. These two go side by side in the braking zone of turn 12, and No Star gets in front. Oh, and Freddie's gone down at turn 12, so that frees up the space between these two. So these two can have a proper fight and not have to worry about being caught by Freddie. And Q Gamer retakes the place from No Star. No Star taking a nice wide line, trying to get the best exit out of turn 15 for turn 16. He goes up the inside and sends it. And he's through. No Star takes back the lead, but the Q Gamer fighting back at turn 17 and 18 and retakes the lead. Through the last of the right-handers, they're now going to turn 19 and No Star retakes the place but runs wide, and Q Gamer's going to get the cutback and take the lead once more. We're now into turn 20 and No Star's looking off the inside and retakes the lead from the Repsol Honda rider, and the Belgian will lead at the end of lap 1. These two pushing hard as Q Gamer's going to go up the inside at turn 1. Somehow, I've no idea how he stayed on there, but he's ran wide, unsurprisingly. As they go through turn 2. And now into turn 3. Through the slalom section. Q Gamer's already got 2 track limits warnings. He's all over the back of No Star as they go into the second sector. There's only 7 laps long due to the length of the track. Oh, Q Gamer's made a bit of a mistake there through turn 7. And that might have just been enough to allow No Star to break away. He's starting to get into his rhythm now. But Q Gamer, he is pushing the limits of that Honda to try and stay with the KTM. As we will now go on board with Q Gamer down this back straight, trying to be in the slipstream race. Race Reese has gone down. And Q Gamer is closing in on No Star during the straight, but he's not closing in at a fast enough rate. Hold on to the brakes. Oh, and Q Gamer's a big snap on the rear landed, but No Star's run really wide. And that just allows Q Gamer back into the swing of things. And he nearly hits the back of No Star as these guys now big switch into turn 15. And No Star just gets such a fantastic exit out of turn 15. And he maintains the advantage throughout the triple rights. And then now into turn 19, and Q Gamer a bit of understeer, it looked like, as we now head into the final corner, and we'll start lap number 3. Always at the outside curb, smart decision for Q to just fully go off the curb to make sure that he gets the best run possible, holding the brakes back into turn 1. Oh, No Star's wide, No Star's wide. Q's trying to take the position, but No Star cuts his nose off. Now Q Gamer opening up turn 3 a lot more compared to No Star, so he can take a lot more speed on the initial entry as No Star picks up his first track limits warning of the race. The KTM rider again up to half a second now, the lead. And Q's just struggling to hold on, but he is pushing as hard as he can onto the brakes. I'm sensing one of these might go down in terms of how hard they're pushing each other. But Q's made up a lot of time on the brakes there. He's in the slipstream. He's got a really good bunch of slipstream. The bike's just constantly shaking as they go over the bumps. And now onto the brakes. No Star seems stronger, and Q's ran wide as well as missed the apex completely, and that's given No Star a 3/10, 4/10 buffer. I think No Star's just starting to edge out that gap. And you look at Q's rushing the corners and just starting to lose lap time as the KTM's just getting the corners hooked up better and starting to run away. But all it takes is one mistake and Q Gamer's back in the swing of things. And it looks like Freddy is not going to be on the podium at the moment. I think he might be actually getting caught by Daredevil as well. So Freddy, the championship leader, his championship lead looking to slip away. At this point, his advantage will drop to 6.5 points. So it'll be a complete swing from the start of the round. So not ideal situation for Freddy. 6.5 points back. Q Gamer, he's currently 6 points back, so he'll be 9 points back. So Q Gamer will be third, Freddy will be second, and No Star will be first at this current stage. But Q Gamer, I said that I thought he'd be over. Q Gamer, though, he's no quitter, and he's closed back those 4 attempts he lost in the back half of the circuit, and he's reapplying that pressure to the No Star. Whether No Star made a mistake somewhere, I don't know. But these guys, we're into the halfway stage now. 3.5 laps remain of this race, and these two, they've managed to stay on. They're really pushing. 4.5 seconds over Joe. And maybe it's just both the bikes have got advantages in different sectors, and it's just causing sort of a yo-yo effect between the first half and the second half of the laps. But the gap is somewhat similar to what it was last lap around, back to 9/10 during the back sector. But maybe Q Game is just that bit more confident in his abilities and the bike in the opening sector compared to No Star. And the gap's back down to 7/10. So you never know. 6/10. But No Star definitely can get that bike cooked up out of turn 15. We've seen that a lot. So if it comes to a last lap battle, I'm assuming that's when a move will be made. As 3 laps remain of this race. 8/10 the gap. No Star is doing everything right. No real mistakes being made, nice and smooth. Oh, and Daredevil's gone down, so that's one less rider for Freddy to worry about. As Q now is starting to close in during the sector. He's just he's lost a bit of time now in the second part, and he has got 1 track limits warning. He's got 4 warnings now, so only 1 more warning to go before he gets a long lap penalty. So that might hamper his abilities to push, because he doesn't want to. The long lap penalty here is quite risky, lots of very bumpy, surprisingly. But has a lot of lack of grip as Freddy's gone down. The championship leader's gone down at turn 8. Will he fall behind Daredevil? No, and Q Gamer has now picked up a long lap penalty. So that has granted No Star the win pretty much. We'll see if Q Gamer decides to take the long lap on this lap 6 or lap 7. No Star will know, though, that he has got a long lap penalty. So Q not taking it this lap round. But Daredevil's got a long lap as well, so 2 long laps to be served. So a 9/10 gap. Q Gamer, I think his strategy must be to try and put No Star under as much pressure as possible, force him into an error, and then take the long lap penalty. But I just don't think that strategy will work, considering I think in No Star's mind he'll be like, okay, he's got a long lap penalty. I just have to not make any mistakes, and the victory will be mine. So I think if it was the previous game where it doesn't tell you that other people have long laps, the strategy could work, but just because No Star will know that of Q Gamer's predicament, then I think ultimately I think No Star will be able to bring this bike home in one piece in victory. So we're on the penultimate lap now. 1.1 seconds, 9 tenths. The gap's just fluctuating a bit between 1.1 now and 9 tenths. So I think the towel definitely, QM is definitely not throwing in the towel, but it's just looking increasingly unlikely that he'll take victory. But it doesn't take much of an error to bring him back into the fight. But I'm expecting him to take the one lap this lap, because I don't think he'd want to risk it, having just one shot it on the last lap. I think he'd want to do it this lap, get it out of the way, or at least get a feeler for it in case he does mess it up. But it's important he doesn't mess it up, because he has got Joe behind him. And Q is not taking it. So Q Game is leaving it to the very last lap. Oh, and Daredevil's gone down for a second time. So Freddie will indeed have 4th place in the bag. As these two will now start the final lap of this race as they head towards the final corner of turn 20. No Star's done a fantastic performance. One more lap to go of this extremely long, I can't remember how long it is, like nearly 6 kilometers in length. Oh, and Q Game has gone, I do not believe it, Q Game has gone down at turn 1, big mistake, and he's got his long up to do. So that will mean he is probably going to finish in 3rd place unless his teammate allows him to take victory. I can't take 2nd place, but I can't see that happening. I'm not sure how aware Joe will be of the situation, and Q Game are now making big mistakes through the slalom section. And that could be the moment that his championship goes, even though he has made plenty of other mistakes throughout the season. But that was not a mistake he could afford. Down through turn 10. 2 more corners until he has to take the long lap penalty. So unless he does the world's greatest long lap penalty ever seen, he is going to have to drop down to 3rd place. He's going to have to take a big mistake from Joe into turn 12, really, or anywhere else on the circuit for Q Gamer to get to 2nd place, as he has a big moment on the brakes. And here he goes into the long lap loop. And he's failed it. Luckily for him, though, he'll still take 4th place, 3rd place. Sorry, we'll have to wait actually, because when Freddie gets around, we'll see how much time Q Gamer. So Q Gamer, he's going to find 2 tenths in this last sector. Actually, more than that, he's got to gain a set. Oh dear, Q Gamer might not even be on the podium here. One person is on the podium though, No Star. He rounds the final corner and put possibly one hand on the trophy. And No Star takes a very crucial victory here in Texas. Joe takes 2nd place. Q came across the line in 3rd. However, I do not believe he will finish 3rd as Freddie comes out the final corner and will finish within 10 seconds of Q Gamer and will therefore finish in 3rd place. Daredevil will round the final corner and take 5th, with Race Reese in 6th. So No Star takes a very crucial victory, taking the championship lead by 4.5 points. Joe 2nd, Freddie drops a 2nd in the championship, but he is 3rd in this race. Q Game is 4th, Dale 5th, and Race Reese in 6th. and No Star has just joined the party, so we can interview him about these past 2 races, which have been a good event for him.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So, No Star, a difficult but fast Mazzano, and then a near perfect Kota. How was today's races?
It's been so tough for Mazzano. I had a big moment with Freddy. Just fell down and then gave my maximum to reach the 2nd position. Yeah, I was pretty happy. And then, yeah, Kota for Austin. Big pressure from Q Gamer at the start for the 2 beginning lap, I think. And then I saw he did some mistakes. I saw he had a long lap penalty. So I was just trying to be focused turn after turn. And yeah, for the reach another big victory, so I'm very happy. Big evening tonight.
Yeah, so congratulations. A 4.5 point lead into the final of next week between you, I think, and Q Gamer. You lead him by something like 12, 13 points, something like that.
Yeah, it's alright. For the final.
Yeah. So 3 races are left to decide Division 2, and we'll see who that is next week. I can't remember the tracks, but it should be interesting, and we will see you guys next week. Well, I'll see you guys in an hour's time for Division 1, but see you next week for Division 2. Goodbye.